listen, it does not need to be a new year, a new you. It just needs to be a new year, a healthier you. Because sure, okay, they trying to take us down at every front. So get some TLC products and up that metabolism and up that energy and up that immune system, okay, that digestive system. Get that all together with these TLC products right here. And don't forget, okay, sign up for ifyoucanmove.com and become a part of the online gym and shed the pounds, honey. We're starting a new challenge on January 3rd, and I would love to see y'all there. Get the links down below. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another review, you guys. This is a brand new show called The Belle Collective. Y'all have been asking me to review this show, and I said I would. At first I was going to wait, but then I realized that I'm kind of, low on videos for this week, and I'm also going to be doing Bridgerton breakdowns, which are going to be cut into about 3 or 4 parts. So look forward to that. And I'm going to get back on my other reviews, like for Girlfriends and Lovecraft Country. I just have to make notes for them. And right now I have been trying to finish Bridgerton because I started that one, and that one is newer. So I kind of want to get that out while everybody is still getting into it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, but the Belle Collective, the first episode of the Belle Collective is available for view on YouTube, on OWN's YouTube page. Okay. Now, OWN does this all the time where they'll release a show 2 weeks prior on YouTube. So that's why I wasn't in a hurry to review it in the first place, because this is the episode that you're going to get on January 15th or whatever the day, or 13th, whatever the day is when the show actually premieres on the OWN channel. This is the exact same episode you're going to get. Okay. So just know that you're not going to get another review for this until its second week. So that'll probably be in 3 weeks or however long it's going to be. But that's why I don't like when they do this, because it's too much space between when they release it and then when the second episode finally comes on. But either way, y'all have been asking, and it's available for view. So I have decided to just go ahead and give it to y'all. Of course, doing it over voice, because I told y'all in my This Is Us review, if you didn't know, I got a chemical peel and my skin is still trying to heal from that. And I don't want to be on camera. So this is what we're doing until I decide to come back on camera. All right, y'all, the Belle Collective. The Belle Collective is about a group of successful Black women in Jackson, Mississippi. Okay, they are birthing, cheering, and getting back to business. Okay, they are attempting to continue the revitalization of Jackson, Mississippi. Y'all, I'm sorry. Bring It will have you saying Jackson, Mississippi like that all the Jackson, Mississippi. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it, y'all. Bring It used to be my show. Anyway, you guys, so they're trying to come together and do business together and revitalize this specific area. We're going to get to that in a minute. And they're trying to do it, but only if they can eliminate the envy and the jealousy that, is amongst the ladies. And listen, this is what I don't like. There are several things about this show that annoy me, but I'm going to watch and review because I think the women are interesting. But for one, I am not a fan of the Southern Belle thing. I am a Southern woman. I do feel like it is a culture to be Southern in the way we are, especially as women. There's a difference between how Southern women are and how women from the West are and how women from the North are. Like, we're just different, and that's fine. We're also different from state to state and city to city, for God's sakes, from household to household. So we're all different, but at the end of the day, like, I do understand the pride of being a Southern woman, and I get all of that. But whenever I see Black women sitting around a table dressed to look like the women that their ancestors served, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're calling yourself a Southern Belle, like that's some genteel, respectful woman. And that's only in the eyes of white people. I'm sorry. I have to say it, because the reality of the situation is, I think of Southern Belle as Madam Delphine, okay? Like down here in New Orleans, Delphine Lalaurie was considered a Southern belle, a woman of high society who tortured her slaves and buried them, I'm sorry, alive. So is that really burying when they're alive? Under the floorboards of her home before it caught fire. So yeah. And then she ran off and nobody knows whatever happened to her. And there were a whole bunch of very cruel so-called Southern belles. So I'm not a fan of seeing Black women attempt to mimic that in the first place. Okay. So let me just get that out the way. Another thing is, I do not like the fact that Black people and Black women in general are always put on this pedestal as if we have to make allowances, compromises, explanations, whatever, for whatever issues we may have, as if only Black people have envy and jealousy issues. Like, I'm just not a fan. You know, Black women coming together. It's hard for women of any ethnicity, race, creed, whatever. It's hard for any group of people to come together a lot of the time. I mean, specifically because we've had, you know, issues in the way we have been set up because of slavery, you know, which is also attached to this Southern Belle thing. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of feel like there are complexities to that that are being glazed over as if it's just nothing. You know, oh, Southern Belle, Southern Belle, Southern Belle, and let's act like Southern Belles. And you know, all of that. And, you know, oh, when we bring Black women together, I want us to, you know, you can't act like Black women. You have to act like Southern belles. Do y'all see what I'm saying about this? Just how I feel like we're always putting this pressure on Black women to make apologies for whatever happens amongst us as if it's a Black problem. Like Black people are the only ones that have issues in groups. Like I literally saw a video today that Urel sent everybody. Urel is on a panel. If you guys didn't know, the panel that I do on Scotty by Nature's YouTube channel. I have to remember to say it correctly because it started off as Mr. Still Standing, but now it's Scotty by Nature. You could put either one in YouTube and find him. But either way, we do a panel every Monday evening. If you guys did not know about that, and we talked about this on the last panel on Monday night. The link has already been left on my channel, but I'll try to remember to put it in the description box or the comments or something so you guys can check out the panel if you have not already. But Urel sent me a video of, you know, some ethnicity of Asian people. I'm not exactly sure where, but going ham in a hibachi restaurant, like slamming shit, knocking stuff over, hitting people, beating the shit out of one another. And I was just kind of like, but yet nobody ever is like, you know, as Asian women, I don't want to see us, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't see them making the apologies for those things based off their ethnicity and or race. Okay. So I just want Black women to stop doing that. If we don't get along, it's because bitches don't get along sometimes. White, Black, Asian, you know, Latino, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of feel like there are a few things just on a larger level that I wanted to touch on about this show as a whole. Now let's move on to the actual people. Okay, so first let me start off with Tambra. Tambra is over here on the right side of the screen, all the way to the back. I'm not going to leave this on the whole time, but I'm going to come back and forth just so, you know, I don't have any issues, just in case I have any issues. Okay, because y'all know how YouTube can be. But y'all see her, right? Okay, she is definitely, shout out to Roxanne, giving Bucky and her hair vibes. I mean, how many bundles do you have in? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, sometimes it seems as if little bitty women want to get so much weave and hair and they're being swallowed up inside of the hair. Like the hair looks like it's eating you alive. But anyway, okay, Tambra is a radio host, okay? And she actually interviewed the mayor of Jackson. Okay, Chokwe Lumumba. I'm probably saying that wrong, but Chokwe Lumumba is gorgeous. Beautiful Black man. Okay, fine. All right. I didn't get a picture of him. Sorry. Look it up. Okay. But she interviews him, in the most entertaining thing, or the most interesting thing about her segment was that man, and the fact that they got the Confederate flag taken down in Mississippi, which is huge, especially when he said that flag will no longer fly above my children's heads. which means such a huge thing, especially for Black people living in the South, because that terrorizes us. Like, we have learned to live with the everyday terrorism of the racism around us, where it's the flags, or, you know, now it's turned into MAGA, but the Confederate flag, the MAGA, all of that stuff is the same. There are representations and signs to show that Black people aren't welcomed here. Like, sorry, but that is the way it has always felt, whether you want to believe that or not. I never forget having people in high school argue with me about that being a symbol of Southern pride. No, sweetheart. It is the flag of the Confederacy, who were fighting to keep their slaves. You cannot leave out that part of what that flag stands for. After the war was over, during Reconstruction, when released and freed African American people, I don't want to just refer to them as slaves, okay? But they were released, some of them, because some people would, you know, stayed in indentured servitude for years, which is another form of slavery. But either way, during that time, Black people were making a lot of gains in farming and a whole bunch of other places. We were running for, you know, councils, and Black people were really catching their footing in this country after being considered less than human for like 300 some odd years. And because white people who were poor had a hard time seeing that and felt some type of way about that, and realized that they can make it hard for us and make it easier for them by promoting these ideals. So we're going to keep hold to a flag of, honestly, people who lost, like they lost the war. This is not a Confederacy. This is a Southern state in the United States of America. Okay, so they won. This is why it's the United States of America. Okay, history lesson for anybody that needed it. So the fact that you want to, you know, tout the flag of the party that lost is just ridiculous to me. like that's just ridiculous. You lost. Like, that's not what this is anymore. And trying to tag it on to some type of pride of being Southern is just ridiculous to me. Okay, so I'm so happy that they were able to get that flag taken down. And, you know, me myself personally have been out there when we've been taking down Confederate monuments that were put up like in the 50s and 60s in order to keep Black people from joining certain schools and stuff like that. Like, those things were put up in recent times, more so than you think, in order to continue the mental assault on Black people in this country. So, you know, we can go deeper into that one day, but I just wanted to give y'all a little, you know, historical context for this Confederate flag in case you ain't know. So Letitia, y'all, let me go ahead and pull that up. Letitia is the girl right here. Well, the woman, I call her girl, the woman that is right here in the center. Okay. She's giving everything in her side pony and bang, yang, yang. Okay. She does women's empowerment brunches. Child, you know, we've seen all these women's empowerment brunches in the past few years, and she makes money off of doing that. Honestly, it's a good networking tool. So it was a great idea. But the word on the curb is that women show up to these women's empowerment brunches to shit on each other. So how much empowerment is there really? So Letitia wants to revitalize Ferry Street. She is having a brunch, and she wants to get some of the women to come and help invest in Ferry Street, buy property, and put businesses there, which is an excellent plan. And I love to see it. But Carlos tried this with Love and Marriage Huntsville. And even though they may have actually been buying property and revitalizing Huntsville, we didn't see that. We saw people fighting and arguing over marital mess, which is entertaining. But I really wish that we would have been able to focus more on the business aspect. And I hope that we'll be able to get that from this show. I do want the marital mess. I want the messy mess between the women. Yes, yes, yes. But I don't want that to stop them from collectively getting their bag and elevating the people in their area. Because I'm so tired of seeing the gentrification thing happen when there are Black people with a lot of money who should be able to revitalize their own communities or the communities that they come from. You know what I'm saying? So she wants to bring all the women together in hopes that they will invest. She has a husband named Glenn. He is a towboater, so he spends a lot of time on the water. So they've had issues in their marriage because of that. They have a 5-year-old kid. And, she gets on the phone with him and child, listen, I don't want to put nobody business out there, but he looked like, he finally got him a good job after years of doing illegalities. Okay. I ain't going to put nobody on blast because that's not how I live. But I'm just saying what it looked like. Okay. It's a couple of these men on these shows that I appreciate the hard work, the hardworking blue collar man. Yes. But some of y'all, in order to be with some of these women, make me feel like y'all was out here selling bricks and y'all cleaned it up for this TV show. I'm sorry. I couldn't do this review without saying that. Okay. So she asked him on the phone, if he's being good, which lets us know that there are trust issues. And then she tells us that she's named her breast. That was very interesting. Move on to Latrice. Okay. Bring it back up. Latrice is your girl over here behind Letitia to the left. Okay. She owns her own hair company. And she's very successful. She pulled up in a Benz truck. And if I can tell y'all how that Benz truck is about to be on my vision board, like I really want a matte black Benz truck. I love that car. I haven't even seen what it looks like on the inside as far as the specs, but the outside is so beautiful to me that is like my dream car on top of the Jeep. And then there's like an old school, like, and I mean like a 60s year, like maybe like 65 caddy that I would really like. But either way, because a girl is kind of a car girl, I just don't have money in order to showcase that. But when she pulled up in that Benz truck, I was like, oh, she's serving anyway. So she is very successful. She started selling her weaves in vending machines, and the mall that it started at, it did so well that she got a deal with the rest of the malls that company owns across the country. So she's out here doing it. She called herself the Beyonce of Jackson. Listen. There's one of my babies, one of my subbies, that loves me, and they're always calling me like, the Beyonce of YouTube. And I always, I take that graciously, but at the end of the day, like I'm the Bondi of YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And that's not acting like I'm above it. I just kind of feel like I'm getting tired of people always being a Beyonce or something. like she the only bitch that's out here doing well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, she doing better than me. Y'all know what I mean? But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We don't always have to be the Beyonce of some shit. But either way, I do appreciate her energy, her hair, her style. She's cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like her. So far, so good. Okay. Now she got an old ass husband named Cliff with light eyes and a bad attitude. Okay. Also look like a hard working, blue collar man, but he's a shadow to her, which means he's an insecure old man who's trying to make sure that his young woman doesn't cheat on him. And eventually she's going to get tired of that. Like, I'm just saying, they actually sat down to talk about the brunch that she got invited to. And she's like, I don't know if I want to go. They're going to be fake there. And first of all, he was like, well, you should fit in. So he was calling her fake. I was like, well, that's shady as shit on national television. Good sir. Way to embarrass your wife. And then also he told her that she could go. He has no problem with that as long as she's not going to the club and coming home at 2:00 in the morning. And I'm like, and if she did go to the club and come home at 2:00 in the morning, like, what the shit is going on? Is she in prison? Is she a 16-year-old girl? Like, make me understand. Like, as a married woman, if me and my friends want to go out dancing all night and I come home, like, I don't come home at 2:00 in the morning. I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying, sometimes we don't get home until like 1:00, 12:00. It depends on how late the situation ran us. But sometimes I have come home at like almost 2:00 in the morning. And I was just with my homegirls having a good ass time. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean I'm out here cheating on my husband. So I just kind of feel like they have trust issues. He's insecure. Eventually, I feel like women grow out of being complacent in relationships with old ass men who just want to control them, especially when they are becoming bosses or are bosses. Yeah, it's cool for a while, but eventually you feel like, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering how many times she's going to let him make her cry before she's tired of his ass. Just saying. So Marie, aka Missy Elliott, as Scotty calls her. I'm guessing y'all know who that is, right? That's the one with the boot in her mouth. Child, why you had to take your picture with a boot in your mouth? I understand that, the show has to showcase the messiness of it all, but damn, sis, like you could have gave us a little smirk or a little raised eyebrow or, without the boot. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just me? Either way, I love her hair when it's in finger waves. You know what I'm saying? Like her hair in finger waves and with the curls and shit was a bop for me. Y'all said the back looked ate up. That's what y'all said. When we was on the panel, they said the back was ate up. And I was just like, oh no, not the back being ate up. That's unfortunate. But it's cute from the front. Okay. Either way, she provides mental health care facilities to the community, which I think is amazing. Scotty said he ain't never heard of her because Scotty lives in this area, not directly in Jackson, but outside of Jackson. And he said he ain't know her. Okay, but that doesn't mean anything. I personally feel like there are a whole bunch of baller ass people that I've never met. But I also live in New Orleans, which is full of baller ass people. You know what I'm saying? There's an entire street designated for baller ass people. It's called St. Charles. There are a whole bunch of other streets too, but that's the one that is closest to the front of my mind. She has a husband, a slew of kids and grandkids at the house, and she just wants to show them that mama can make it happen. And I was like, all right, mama, make it happen then. Okay. Also has had obviously, cheatation in her marriage. So I'm like, oh, we gonna see, we gonna see that, ain't we? They have to mention it, y'all. Every time they put the husbands on camera, it's like, yeah, we had our issues. Child, I guess. So she is expanding her business. She also works with her like best friend, and she wants to expand her business to add an additional resource for people with addiction because her mom had a drug problem and she has felt her entire life that she just could not understand why her mom would choose drugs over her. And I'm just like, girl, it's a chemical thing. It's a chemical thing. I know it's hard to understand. And sometimes it is people running away from their problems, but a lot of the times it's the chemical thing. Once they didn't put that shit in their system, it really calls them in the night. Y'all remember what Pookie said? You calling me, man. Just be calling me. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Okay. But that's great. And I think that's amazing to offer that because a lot of Black people are in that situation. Like we have so many things that we need help healing from and don't have the access, don't have the know-how, don't have the language, don't have the accessibility to these things. So I think it's very important to be able to give this to our communities, especially, Black people, because of all of the trauma. And I feel like, like days like today or everything that's going on Capitol Hill, it is just like a reminder of how we are treated, in this country in comparison to white people and people who are white adjacent. Like it's so different. And I think that a lot of us need help dealing with that all the time because it's not just something in our past. It's not just a universal consciousness. It is something that comes up on your timeline, comes up on the news, comes up at your job, at the restaurants, at the grocery stores. Like it comes up in every facet of your life, damn near every day. Somebody has to remind you you are Black and therefore are undeserving of equality in this country in one way or another. And I'm not going to argue with nobody about that. Because some of y'all put on blinders to racism because it makes you feel better to live in the dark. A lot of us, that's why, people be like, oh, we woke or whatever. And I know y'all love to say that shit now, but the truth of the matter is when you really are awoken and you start to recognize certain things, you see it everywhere. And people are, oh, don't make it a white and Black thing. You tell that to white people. Okay. Tell that to them. Okay. But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going off on tangents about these things, but y'all know it's just on my spirit today. And I want to talk about everything that's going on, but I want to do that for my podcast when I come back for my podcast. Okay. So I'm gonna get myself together for that, especially since I'm not going to be filming actual video versions of it. It actually might come out tomorrow. So Antoinette, the newly single dentist. Let's get to her, you guys. Antoinette is over here to your far left behind Latrice. Actually, she and Latrice are really close friends. She is really cute, has great energy. very successful dentist, newly single. She was in an interracial relationship and now she's opening her own practice. Okay, so she's flirting with the contractor who's also a white guy. From what I understand, was married, but she was flirting. Anyway, she says that having an interracial relationship in Mississippi was hard. And I don't understand what that means. Like, hard in what way? Talk to us, honey. Because when you turn around, okay, like, when you turn around and you say that, oh, what, you don't want to date white men? What, you don't find them attractive? Oh, I get it. Grandma isn't going to like it. Like, that's ridiculous. And I'm just like, girl, if you think that most Black people don't date outside of their race because their family members aren't going to approve, you got this whole situation fucked up. Okay, you got this whole situation fucked up. Okay, we feel this way for totally different reasons. White people don't want the dominant race mixing with theirs for a whole bunch of reasons. We are dominant because when you mix with us, especially, you know, like full-blown brown-skinned Black people, there is no denying who the pappy is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And that adds color to your line. And a lot of them don't like that. They want to be fully white throughout their whole family line. That's not everybody, but that's a lot of white people. Black people do not have that same mindset for the most part. It's not really about having interracial kids for us. A lot of us actually think that's better than having, just full-blown African-American children without a mix. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're all mixed when it comes down to our ancestry, but the truth of the matter is Black people have innate fear and also a cautiousness towards white people. They also have the universal consciousness of the trauma. So if grandma doesn't like your white husband, maybe it's because it reminds her of a man that tried to assault her on the way to school one day. Like, we have reasons for why we feel the way we feel about having white people in our families. Not to say I feel this way. I have no problem whatsoever with interracial relationships. I feel like love is love, especially when it's based off of the right things, because there are relationships that are built off of the fact that I just love this person loves me. Not, oh, I want to be with this person because it's better than my own ethnicity. You know what I'm saying? Which is an issue and a problem for me. I don't like that type of shit. But all in all, like, what she said to me came off very ignorant, and it seemed to just sum such a complex issue up with, oh, they're just going to be upset because he's white. Like, it's not that simple, sweetie. It's not that simple. And that's why you're divorced, because it's not that simple. And you can't enter an interracial relationship and think it's going to be successful if you aren't being real with yourself, and your husband, especially being white, is not being real with himself, with who you are in this world, and how he has to understand that in order to fully engage in a loving relationship with you as a Black woman. I'm sorry, but he has to understand your hair can't be out here on cotton all open and everything. He got to understand weaves and wigs and shit. Okay, he got to understand that you may not necessarily want raisins in your potato salad. I'm trivializing it in that comment. That was just a joke, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be a real understanding. And I feel like a lot of the times there is no real understanding. You find yourself sexually attracted to a Black woman and she is sweet and appeasable, or whatever you want to call it. You know, appeasing. I'm sorry, let me use the correct word. She's appeasing, you know, and not a neck rolling Black woman, however y'all want to stereotype us, you know, as if women don't have negative or angry emotions, no matter their skin tone. But anyway, they sometimes fetishize us, and just like white women fetishize Black men. So I feel like you have to have those conversations and be very clear about those types of issues before you engage in a marriage, because you'll be 4 years in and getting what? A divorce, which is what she just got. And she hasn't come out to the world as being divorced yet. Either way, she is building this new business by herself, and she calls her dad to talk to him about it. And he's like, well, did you talk to your husband about it? Well, your ex-husband about it? Why would I talk to him about it? It's not his business. We're not together anymore. Like, and that's when this whole patriarchal thing comes in. Because yes, it's a lot to handle, but why is it that you're asking if she talks to a man she just got divorced from? She talking to her daddy. If there's any man she needs to talk to, it was you. Okay? But just the idea that you can't handle it, maybe you need to call your ex-husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the vibe I got from what he said. And she was like, it's not his, it's all mine. So as much as people like to act like this racist patriarchy shit, isn't an issue all the time, it comes up a lot. You feel me? Okay. And even if you don't, I don't care. Okay. But either way, she and Latrice are friends, right? I told y'all that. So they meet up to go and buy her a Porsche, or a Porsche, however you want to pronounce it. I prefer saying Porsche and not Porsche, but some people, I don't know. But I'm going to just say her friend needed to help her with her wig. Friend, tell me why your hairline look realistic and hers don't. If that's your friend, why you got your friend sitting next to you in a car with her hairline looking like that, friend? That's not okay. That's not all right. And I know you make money, Antoinette, so you should be able to afford your good friend Latrice's services so that your wig don't look like that. Like, girl, some people need to just have weaves and let other people do their hair, because this wig game ain't for everybody. It's just not. Okay? But anyway, you guys, Letitia says she's trying to get Tambra to host her brunch. Tambra normally hosts her brunch, but she had a prior engagement. So they're meeting up so she can try and convince her to cancel her prior engagement and host this brunch. But that's not going to happen. What she really does is tries to get all in Tambra's, personal business, who you dating and all of this type of stuff. And Tambra's just like, girl, I'm not trying to date nobody. I ain't been single since the 8th grade. I ain't trying to get into all that, girl. Just kind of blowing her off. Basically, I don't want you in my business, or I don't want my business on television. So I don't know what Tambra is going to give, but if she thinks she's going to give us, radio civil rights every week, I don't know if I can deal with that. Because I could watch the news or actually listen to the radio for that. Like, I don't know if that needs to be your complete storyline on a reality show. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just me? But whatever. So they discussed Letitia's Ferry Street project and she won't be there. And, she didn't say if she actually wanted to become a part of that, but she just says to give her all the deets once the brunch is over. So we go to Marie. Once again, Missy Elliott. I can't stand the rain. It's my window. I can't stand the rain. Okay. So Marie is getting ready for the brunch, and she purchased some of Latrice's hair, and she got somebody to make her a wig. Now, I thought she said she got somebody from Latrice's shop to make her a wig. I don't know. Either way, she's like, this doesn't seem like her hair. This don't seem like, the hair I bought. It's got synthetic fibers. And listen, I did see that like yucky texture or synthetic fibers in the hair. I did see that. That was true. But that hair was moving. I didn't feel like that hair looked stiff, and I didn't feel like that hair looked brittle and dry the way she was trying to make it seem. In all honesty, either somebody switched out your hair, or whoever did the hair put too much product on it, because it doesn't matter how beautiful the hair is. If you have somebody that doesn't know what to do with it, it will still come out stiff. I'm just saying, it happens all the time. Great hair isn't great hair just because, it is great hair no matter what you do to it. No, you have to style it appropriately. You have to use the right products. You have to not use too many moisturizers or oils and all of that on weave hair. It's not a good idea. Because it will always be stiff. You know what I'm saying? And a little dry. And that's the way it looked after she had curled it to me. So I feel like maybe you put too much product in that hair. Sitting up there talking about this hair is garbage. And I'm like, what you know about garbage showing up in this costume outfit, girl? Like, this is a costume. That's not a dress to wear to brunch. That's a costume, ma'am. That's what people wear on Halloween. Matter of fact, that's Khadijah's Bo Peep outfit from Living Single, girl. That's what that is. Stop playing with us. Like, I know she thought she was doing it, but she not. She thought she was doing it, but she not. And listen, Antoinette showed up with this sparkly dress on, and that wasn't the vibe either. But if you check the rest of the table, everybody isn't dressed in this over the top Southern Belle church lady shit they got going on. Okay, everybody ain't dressed like that. So her showing up like Bo Peep was to make sure she made a splash on the show, and that's just what it is. So Letitia comes out. Okay, Southern Bells, Southern Bells, Southern Bells. I was just kind of like, girl, girl, girl. Your great grandmammy probably was serving Southern Bells, tea and crumpets in hot ass Mississippi, praying for the day that she could sit her ass down at a table for y'all to want to be Southern Bells. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, so they start with mirror affirmations, which I was like, listen, I guess that's a cute thing to do, but I kind of feel like that's something you do alone in your mirror in the morning, okay, or at night. That's not what you do in a room full of people. Get to the business. Like, I'm trying to understand why that's not the first thing you said. If you was really trying to get these girls to invest in Ferris Street and all of that, that should have been what you came out talking about. And then they could have just asked you questions about it as you guys ate and conversed and everything. I don't know why it had to be at the end and you want to do confirmation, you want to do affirmations and all of that with these women like they not grown, but whatever. Girl, you popping. Yeah, girl, I'm popping in a mirror. Anyway, so Marie says that she tried to engage in conversation with Antoinette and Latrice, but they weren't really feeling her. Honestly, they were talking bad about her as soon as she came through the door. I'm not mad at them about it, because at least Antoinette was like, I know I look stupid, but I don't look like that. I was like, girl, you ain't never lie. Because her dress was a mess too. I feel like, sometimes a cute little wrap dress is all anybody needs to do. Like, sometimes people just be doing way, way, way too much. Okay. But one of the other ladies who is sitting next to Antoinette, okay, this young lady in the yellow, she is wearing Latrice's hair as well, and it was mentioned. So Marie took this time to bring up that she purchased some hair from her store. So I'm like, how are you now questioning if it's her hair if you know you purchased it from her store? That didn't make any sense to me, okay? But she starts to call it garbage in front of all of these people, which I felt like was definitely on some disrespectful shit. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I just didn't feel like that was necessary at all. But Latrice is like, I'm sure you didn't go to my store. Why don't you give me the receipts? And to me, that's all it should have been. Bitch, where are the receipts for the hair? Send her the email, give her the paper receipt, sis. I don't know what you need to do, but find the receipt on your PayPal, on your Cash App, on your debit card list of purchases. But find it and give it to her. It did not have to be all of this as far as I'm concerned. I feel like she was trying to make that lady look bad in front of all these other women. Okay. And as it pertains to business, I just kind of feel like that was shady as shit and wasn't the move. Okay. Letitia comes over and Marie continues to talk about this lady hair. And Letitia says, oh, this hair is stiff, but let's calm down. We Southern Bells. Girl. Oh, Lord, if y'all can see me rolling my eyes right now, child. Okay. But I kind of felt like Letitia was being messy. Like, why are you coming over here, instigating the argument, but then want to tell them to calm down? Like, you shouldn't have spoke on the hair then, because that made Latrice feel like, y'all were trying to ambush her about her product. So she turns to Antoinette and said, it's time to go, Antoinette. And I was just like, oh no, bitch, Antoinette looked like she was still eating her food and drinking her drink. I mean, she stood up and was still drinking her mimosa. So you could tell she wasn't ready to go, but she wasn't going to let her friend leave feeling dejected. So I get it. I would have probably left with my friend too, because if I came with her and it's my girl and y'all just tried to play my friend like a soybean burger, bitch, bruh, I guess it's time to go. Okay. I'd have took that glass with me all the way to the door and made sure I finished that glass before I left. Okay. Letitia is upset because she didn't get to make her announcement. She also says she is always trying to be Marie's publicist, because once she get a little bit of alcohol in her, she don't know how to act. I said, that sounds exhausting. But you didn't give your announcement because you waited too long. You should have gave it before they ate. Or while they was eating. Either way, y'all, that was the Belle Collective. It was interesting enough, so I'm definitely going to come back for further reviewage, okay? Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.